What reason the age of retirement?
That's interesting that you asked that question. People come up to me, the answer don't work on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's on the table, you're saying?
Well, if people want to work longer, maybe you need to give them an incentive to do it.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a way to solve every one of these problems, by the way.
I know.
And actually, grow wealth at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It just takes that right there.
That was Representative Rick Allen of Georgia, pretty much lying. Who's going to come out there and say, oh, yeah, by the way, I really want you to cut Social Security so I can work longer? Yeah. No, the people that approached him were likely not workers, but his corporate donors who desperately do want to cut Social Security and Medicare. So now, look, we want to work longer. Obviously, not something that the average person is saying. It's a talking point, though, used by people who eventually want to privatize Social Security. And they do that by, of course, cutting back benefits more and more and more, and then saying, oh, well, you would do much better if we were to privatize it. And then once they get control of the different houses of Congress and the presidency, which can happen, then they would cut Social Security. But first, they have to undermine it. But that said, right, large majority of voters, including Republican voters, they're not buying this. 83% across party lines say that, no, we don't want to see Social Security cut. In fact, we want it expended. And we want wealthy people contributing their fair share to this program. That's the way to save it. Cutting benefits is not the way to save Social Security. It's to make the wealthy pay their fair share to the program. Now, here's the thing. He says, well, you just got to think about it, right? It's all right here. We should give people incentive to work longer because they keep telling me they want us to work longer, so we'll give them an incentive. That doesn't make any sense. If people want to work longer, they will. Look, my grandma, she retired, and then she took odd jobs. She worked as a bartender. She worked at Meijer. And so she had done these odd jobs, mainly, I guess, to get out of the house, but also to help support some of my other family members. All right. So, by the way, that was her choice to do that. She was also a strong proponent of Social Security retirement benefits and Medicare for all and wealthy people paying their taxes. She was a Bernie Sanders supporter. So understand that, yes, she collected retirement and also worked. Just because some people choose to work after they retire doesn't mean they need an incentive in the form of cutting benefits. If anything, like I said before, benefits are too low for retirees. And that's the other thing, too. Benefits are incredibly low. And yeah, some people already have to work if they're able to. And there's a lot of retirees who are not able to. But we know who's pushing this narrative. It's industry groups. Industry groups, conservative think tanks, they use their massive amounts of money, corporate money, to buy off Republican politicians. So now Allen himself is part of the Republican Study Committee, which is a House GOP panel that released a policy agenda last year calling for gradually raising the retirement age from 60 to 67 to 70, partially privatizing the program, and then means testing benefits. That means, again, cutting benefits for you, excluding people from the program, which is supposed to be a universal program, and then phasing it out. That's the ultimate goal here, to get rid of it, which would be a horrible disaster for retired people. In fact, before Social Security, elderly people of retirement age lived in abject poverty. And again, going back to the whole point of, they want to work longer, right? You also have age discrimination for employment. You have a lot of older people that have a very hard time, even when they want to find work, finding work because of age discrimination. There are employers that don't want to pay what older people are worth. people who have had 20, 30 years of experience in this field, 40 years of experience even, they're like, obviously we don't want to pay you that. We're just going to hire somebody who, has no or little experience so we can pay them less. And by the way, it's also not good for younger people if older people cannot retire, because that prevents younger people from getting into those same jobs and careers as well and to do their own career advances. It's a terrible idea to raise the retirement age for everyone, except for people who will make money from privatizing it. And that's what we're talking about: hedge funders. We're talking about people on Wall Street. And again, we're talking about corporations that save money on taxes, that want to make sure to privatize every federal program, not just the ones that, again, aren't affected by taxes, because, again, no Social Security, Social Security is not funded by any tax money. But again, they want to do that and then springboard to cutting even more government benefits, of which they actually do have to pay into taxes for. So overall, it's a gigantic goal of shrinking government for them as much as possible, which means they pay less, they have less government, and they're able to monetize things like, again, Medicare, which they already are, and these Medicare Advantage plans, which are a gigantic ripoff for the consumer. And then, of course, privatizing retirement, which is what they want to do. So overall, you have these politicians that don't give a damn about retired people and just want to protect their corporate donors and, allow Wall Street to be able to monetize other people's retirements so then they can also benefit from those campaign contributions from Wall Street. That's what Republicans are fighting for: to prop up private plans, to let these investors profit off your retirement. That's that's what they're fighting for. And during a House Republican conference meeting last week, a slide presentation indicated that GOP intends to use its narrow majority in the chamber to push for reforms to, quote unquote, mandatory spending programs, a category that includes Social Security and Medicare. That's what their plan is. They've been very, very open about it, very honest about it, that they want you to work until you die. No retirement for you unless you're born wealthy.